of burnout. Is it a thing? Is it something that you've experienced before? Obviously, yes, burnout is a thing. People go through it. People who probably try to do too much, type A, overachievers, all types of people really can get burnout. And today's video is a bonus video. I usually release videos once a week on my channel, but I'm doing a second one this week because it's corresponding with a blog post. I am writing on a blog I do with my best friend called Living in Lifestyle. If you have not yet checked it out, head on over there if you are somebody who enjoys blogs. We post weekly blogs every Thursday morning, so go and check it out. And the reason why I wanted to create this video this week is because I am somebody who I think has often been on the verge of burnout in my life. I don't know if it's something I definitely know I've experienced it. I feel like the word burnout is thrown around a lot in our society, and I feel like sometimes people overuse words, and I hate to generalize, but I do find sometimes, I'm not even going to give examples because I don't want to get into trouble, but I feel like there's examples in life where people just overuse concepts, and I don't always think that's fair. But I do think burnout is a serious concern for our society, and maybe you've experienced it, maybe you haven't, maybe you felt like you've been on the verge of it, but no matter what, today I want to talk about 5 different ways that you can still be productive but avoid burnout in your life and just keep living the best life you can while enjoying yourself, doing the things that you love, and still being productive. Because if you're like me, you like to do a lot, you're passionate about a lot of things, and you wear many hats. So let's not waste any time and let's dive right into the video. Point number 1, make it about the journey, not the destination. If you are constantly focused on getting to a specific place in life, or that constantly just chasing like a new goal every time you hit a goal, that could cause burnout. I think if you're always like looking for the next best thing and looking how to level up, and I think people who are high achievers are always reaching further and finding, okay, I've hit this goal, now how can I get to this goal? It's so important to take a minute and appreciate where you are at in life and appreciate hitting goals and make it about the journey of reaching that goal. It doesn't always have to be like getting to the next best thing, but maybe it's like, oh, I get to work on my YouTube channel every week and it's fun. It's not about just being monetized, I'm telling myself this, but it's about the act of creating and the act of putting out content that you're passionate about. Or maybe you're training for a marathon. It's not just about the marathon, but it's the journey of getting to that marathon, right? So it's like, enjoy what you're doing, because if you're not, and you're not enjoying the journey, then why are you doing it? Point number 2 is sleep. Enough said. I could end it right there. So many studies have come out recently telling people that we need sleep. I did not sleep enough in my 20s, 100%. I did not. And I feel like it was kind of a badge of honor of like, well, I don't really need sleep. I can just do this and then go out and work hard and we'll sleep when we're old. But as I get into my 30s, I feel like I'm even healthier now that I'm in my 30s, and as I'm getting older, I feel like it's an emphasis that we all need to focus on. We all need sleep. We need a minimum of 7 hours a night. So do not brag about only getting 4 hours, because it's really not good for you. They say that infants need anywhere from between 12 to 17 hours a day. Toddlers need 11 to 14 hours a day of sleep. School-age children need approximately 9 to 11 hours. Teenagers need 8 to 10 hours, and if not more, because I live with a teenager. And adults are 7+, and I think women are even more than men. So if you're going to stay up late working and skip the sleep, I recommend don't do that. Try to find pockets of your day where you can get your work done. Do not compromise sleep. There are so many days where I feel like my to-do list is never ending, and I'm like, well, I'll just stay up late tonight and I won't sleep and I'll go to bed at midnight. But I never feel good, so I don't do that anymore. Instead, I try to shut the computer off by 6 or 7 p.m. and then I get up early, because as long as I'm in bed by 9 and I'm waking up by 5:30, I'm getting the sleep that I need. And then when I wake up, I'm rejuvenated and I can actually get focused work done early in the morning rather than interrupting those important hours at night on the computer when I could be sleeping. So really, really, really take a look at your sleep schedule and see how that can be improved. The next point I want to bring up is about checking in with your goals. So knowing what direction you're going in. If you're constantly spinning your wheels and working towards something, but you don't know why you're doing it or where you're going, that can make you burn out, because you're basically just working for nothing, or you're working towards something that it doesn't excite you or make you happy. So I think it's so important to consistently check in with your goals. If you want to learn how I do it, I do have a YouTube video that I make kind of at the beginning of every year that breaks down how I goal set and how I monthly intention set. So give that a watch if you'd like. But basically my system is setting overarching yearly goals. Then I check in every quarter, which is every 3 months of the year. And then I check in every month with myself. So I set monthly intentions based on those quarterly goals, which are based on those yearly goals. So I think as long as you're checking in with yourself every 1 to 3 months, you're going to have a sense of what you want in life. And those goals might shift, and that's okay. But just know the direction you're headed in, because if you are working on something you're not excited about anymore, it's not worth it, and that can cause burnout. So definitely check in with those goals. I think that makes a huge difference in just keeping your passion ignited. Make time for people and hobbies that make you happy. So I'm not the type of entrepreneur to say, you gotta grind all the time, you have to always be working, you always have to be hustling, put your head down for 5 years. I mean, I do think that, yes, that works. Obviously, you're gonna be really successful in that sense, like career-wise and getting ahead on your like to-do list. If you're always working, that's just like the way it works. But I don't think that's sustainable, and I don't think that's good for our mental health. So I'm the type of entrepreneur that I feel like it's important to have balance, obviously. And yes, it's important to dedicate hours every day to working on your business, your side hustles. If you have a job and you have multiple jobs, like obviously you have to allocate enough time to get things done. But I think it's so important to still make time for people you care about, your family, your pets, your hobbies, your friends, however that looks in your life. I think if we dedicate time every week to doing something we love, fulfilling our passions, filling up our cup, that is going to just get us that much further in our business, because we'll actually be happy and we're not going to be burnt out. So for myself, I find definitely depends on the season, but I'm somebody who, you know, I like to dedicate my work hours Monday to Friday from, let's say 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. approximately. Obviously there are little gaps in the day where, you know, I try to fit in a workout or go for a walk or put a load of laundry on, for example, or tidy up the kitchen. But for the most part, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is my working hours. And that's a lot of time dedicated, but obviously I do a lot of different things. And so it's important for me to time block, which I have a video on time blocking. Check that out if you haven't seen it. I might do another one this year just because I love talking about it. But I also allocate time in my evenings to hang out with my family and to watch a show or to read a book. On the weekends, you know, so I often end up doing work every weekend because I have to, or I'll fall behind. But I always try to give myself one day where I just don't go on the computer. I do something fun. I see a friend. I get outside, depending on the season. But that really keeps me balanced. That really helps keep me balanced. And I think it's just so vital to give yourself breaks, which will in turn obviously help you not get burnt out. And my fifth and final point, take time to just be. If you can take at least 5 to 10 minutes a day to not be in front of a screen, to not be running your mind like crazy, to not be on your phone, to not be talking to people, just be. If you can take some moments to yourself where you're not distracted and you're just maybe meditating or just conscious of your thoughts or however that looks, maybe going for a walk without your phone. I think that's so important to really regroup and to let go of stress from the day. I would say the biggest problem with getting burnt out in productivity is there's so much going on all the time and you're constantly plugged into things and you're always checking your emails and you're not taking moments to yourself, which leads to burnout. And I've seen this in a lot of very highly successful individuals. I've watched them. They'll be on their phone, they'll take a second where they pause and they're right back on their phone because they literally are addicted to the constant information and checking in on things. I have caught myself doing this too, but it's something I'm very aware of now. If I can just take 10 minutes to eat lunch without doing work, Or if I can go out for a walk and I don't bring my phone. Or in the mornings, I usually take 5 minutes to just like wake up and sit and try to do some breath work with my Apple Watch. There are definitely ways that you can check in with yourself, and it's something that I think should be done more in a day. Like, yes, I do the mornings, but obviously I'm pretty low stress in the morning. I'd like to even make it a habit to take a break around, 2 o'clock, for example, and do some deep breathing. Or at the end of my days, I like to go out for a walk and decompress. I just think taking moments for stillness, however that looks for you, is really important. And all of these tips are obviously my recommendations. Take them with a grain of salt. Maybe that looks different for you, but I think the goal to not burn out and to live your best life is to take little pieces of information that fit into your daily life that can set you up for success. So these are my 5 tips, and I feel like I'm at a great place in my life now where I am happy with where things are at. I don't feel burnt out. Obviously, there are days that are really busy, but some days aren't as bad. And I think all of these components mixed together really helps me set myself up for success. And I feel like I have not been burnt out in a long time. Obviously, I take breaks. It's important to take vacations. I don't think it's a badge of honor to be like, I haven't taken a day off in 6 months. Like, I really don't think that's vital. So these are just, this is just my advice. And yes, I definitely still have a long way to go in terms of managing stress levels, but I don't feel like I have burnt out recently, and I have been doing a lot of different things. So take it from me. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below, and let me know what you'd like to see more of this year. Like I said, I put videos out every week. I kind of rotate between Mondays and Wednesdays, I would say. YouTube was telling me for a while there that Wednesday was my best day to post, and then it switched to Mondays. So I've been doing Mondays the last few weeks. But if you have a preference of days, you let me know. But I'll sprinkle in some bonus videos whenever I can. Thank you again for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.